Hey there, it's Megan, and I am really excited to welcome you to our challenge group. We have so much going on in there, but I wanted to make sure that I first got a chance to talk to you about the most important part of the equation, and that's nutrition. We all know that it's pretty easy to push play on our fitness, just work out, get it done. But when it comes to nutrition, there's a lot of planning and preparing involved. And I want to talk to you a little bit about that because there is also more than one way to go about this. So my hope with this video is to share with you all the different methods and ways, and then you can ask yourself what is going to work best for you. And then you and I can work together to develop a plan and a program that's going to match your needs, your lifestyle, your goals, and all of that awesome, good stuff. Okay, so you have access to Beachbody On Demand, and so therefore you have access to all the nutrition resources that you could ever imagine in front of you, okay? And so I don't want you to get overwhelmed, and I don't want you to get lost. The best thing to do, number one, is to go into where you find your workout, and next to that you'll find a tab that has materials, and it's going to give you the nutrition information. So I'm going to give you an example. I'm going to take you through Beachbody On Demand and show you a specific example, and then kind of digest that information, and then let me know, once you've seen this video, where you think you fall. Okay, so let me start off by sharing my screen with you so we can go right into, hold on one sec, here I go. Sorry, share. Okay, perfect. So here we are in Beachbody On Demand, and I started with actually the nutrition tab, okay? And just to give you, I didn't want to forget to mention this, that actually Beachbody Nutrition, if you have an iPhone, they have an app now. So you can actually use that app. Unfortunately, I only use Android, so I have not used this app, but I wanted to let you guys know that it was there so that you can track and get more information and more help with a cool little app like that, okay? But let's start out from the beginning. You're gonna log into Beachbody On Demand to access your workout program, okay? So when you go into the workouts tab, you will see all of the workouts at your disposal, okay? And every single workout comes with its own nutrition plan that was designed to go with the program, okay? So let's make it really simple and start with Transform 20. This is one of our newest workout programs, and the nutrition also happens to be very simple. Okay, so in the workout list, you'll see those are the workouts, and then when you go into program materials, you will see getting started, and then there's your nutrition. So this one is, again, really basic and simple. We're gonna click on the nutrition guide, and it's going to pull up the information for you. This one happens to have a lot of recipes in it as well. But as with every guide, the first couple pages are going to tell you how to figure out how much you should eat. It will say, find your plan. That's essentially what most of the guides will tell you. So you can use this approach for any program that you're doing. The 21-Day Fix, Lift 4, Fix Extreme, Transform 20, and each one will be a little bit different, but generally the same if you want to look at that way, okay? So this particular example uses the portion control containers. So some of you might already be familiar with those. They come from the 21-Day Fix, and essentially it's macros. It's simplified macros, okay? So you have your servings of vegetables, your servings of fruits, proteins, carbs, healthy fats, seeds and dressings, and then nut butters and oils, okay? So I fall into Plan B, and so this is actually, I should preface this by saying, this isn't how much I weigh, but because I'm super active, I bump up another bracket, okay? I would normally eat Plan A, but because I also teach some fitness classes, and I'm on my feet and I'm pretty active, I bump up to a next plan. Okay, so take that into consideration too. If you fall into this plan A category, you know, let's talk about what you do for work. Are you on your feet? Do you have a factory job? You know, do you keep weird hours? Like, what else are you doing in addition to your workouts? Because that's going to be a factor in your nutrition. Okay, but let's just start out simply. You find your weight here and you pick that plan. Okay, very, very simple. Okay, so essentially now you know how many vegetable servings you should be having in a day. That's 4. How many fruit servings? 3. Proteins, 4, etc. Okay, so now you are free to create your own menu. Okay, so this is where some considerations come into play. And I'm going to give you some examples because everybody works in a little bit different. Everybody has a different way of processing things. Some people view things as scary. Some people view things as freedom, you know, and so this is just almost, this video is to help you kind of fact find, to figure out what you think you're gonna do best with, and then you and I can narrow down specific details for your specific needs. Okay, so this video is almost acts as like an overview, right? So you could take this information and you could use the app or use one of our tally sheets that we have, and you could create your own meals. Let's just say, for example, you've got your 4 proteins here. That means you should really figure on, you know, eating roughly 4 meals a day. Each one contains a protein. Maybe it's got some greens with it, a fruit, a healthy fat, that sort of thing, okay? This is giving you that flexibility where you can create your own custom thing based on what you like, okay? Or maybe what you're already doing. This is just gonna help you to hone in on that a little bit more, okay? I will tell you that as you go through some of these guides, they're also gonna give you some sample meal plans. This also will give you the lists of what the foods are. So your proteins are, you know, lean fish, chickens, you know, things like that. Also, let me just say that when you look at these lists, you should look at them in the hierarchy. The things at the top of the list are going to be the clean and least processed and best for you to choose from. The ones towards the bottom of the list are maybe limit to 1 or 2 a week or something like that. Certainly, you could eat anything you want off those lists. I just wanted you to know that the best stuff's always at the top of those lists, okay? And so healthy fats, seeds and dressings, there's tons of recipes for this stuff, by the way. We'll get into some of that also. Shakeology, almond milk, if you're using that, it counts as a teaspoon. Oh, we do have a sample meal plan. Perfect. So this is plan A gives you a 3-day sample meal plan. Okay, so this is just one example. So you could totally go off of this and say, breakfast is gonna be Shakeology and grapes, and then here's your snack, and so on and so forth. Okay, so it does give you an example. And then again, there's recipes in this book, okay? So let me say also that when people look at the lists, they end up having a ton of questions, and they start to freak out, some people, and think, oh my gosh, if it's not on the list, I can't have it, okay? That's not the case either. Let's talk about it. If you don't see it on the list, ask me, okay? Because we want this program to be sustainable for you. I don't want your red flags to go up and go, oh no, restrictions, I can't have this, because that is not going to make for happy, sustainable program, right? I want you to embrace something that's going to work for you, okay? So this is only one example, okay? This is more of a freestyle example that you have at your fingertips, okay? And then also, if you go back to Beachbody On Demand, you can go into the Beachbody blog and search more extensive meal plans. Like if you love the idea of just eating a plan that somebody puts out for you, you can come into this Beachbody blog and search, I already did it, 1500, and it will spit out meal plans for you. There's even a no-cook meal plan, okay? So know that this stuff is in here. Know that you have access to all of this stuff. Depending on where you fall, okay? You have access to all of this information, okay? So the next kind of thing that I'll tell you too is, for me, when I first started with my workouts in Beachbody and the introduction of the container system, I was psyched because I was logging on MyFitnessPal and it was daunting, and I couldn't believe or just fathom logging forever. Like my whole life was going to be about logging. It was just a horrible thought. So when the portion containers were introduced to me, I was psyched. And it was just easy for me to follow. And I loved the idea of just filling the containers and putting it on my plate and creating meals that way. Okay. And that's been great for a few years. I've been very successful with that. Then a new program came along, and it was called the 80-Day Obsession. And timed nutrition was introduced to me. And I thought, oh my gosh, this is going to be more restrictive, right? But what I found out was this was even a much better process for me. So essentially what I had been doing is, because I had the freedom and the flexibility of my containers and I struggled with my vegetables, I would eat almost all of the things at my lunch. And so my body wasn't able to process several servings of vegetables and a couple servings of fats. And I was overdoing it at lunchtime. And then by afternoon, I was like sluggish and tired and my energy was way down. And it was like it was tough. It was like, okay, something needs to change. Something needs to change. So then when this came along and I saw, oh my goodness, there are specific, time nutrition is more specific. You know what to eat before you work out, you know what to eat after you work out, and you know what meals you're having throughout the day. And the macros are specifically set out for you already. No guesswork. I can't even tell you. I just felt like right away I gravitated to this. Oh my gosh, no guesswork. I don't have to put the plans together myself. I can just eat what it says, a green, red, yellow, have my Shakeology. For me, my personality, this was awesome because I was busy and I was running kids here and I was going grocery shopping and I had things on the weekend, and I would come home from the store and I would say, okay, I know I'm hungry, but I don't know what's next. And I could refer to my paper and say, I need a green, red, and yellow, have it ready from the refrigerator and eat what it said to eat. No brainer. And I saw success. And I'll tell you this too, no lie, going from overdoing it at lunchtime and changing to this method, within 2 weeks, my bloat disappeared, my energy went through the roof, and my stomach went flat as a board, okay? So that worked for me really well, okay? Not saying that this is gonna work for you. I just want you to know that you have these options. The time nutrition is still something that I utilize. I absolutely love it, okay? So there's a couple options there, right? You've got your open flexibility. You want to create your own plan. You want to utilize something like that. You don't want to have to worry about too many restrictions, right? And then you have this time nutrition example where you know exactly what to eat, pre-workout, post-workout, and all of that good stuff, okay? Then you have kind of another, like if you're looking at this and you're saying to me, you know what, Meggin, it's overwhelming. Like the whole thing is just overwhelming. And I'm really struggling with nutrition and I don't know where to start with that. Then I would say to you that we need to start with the basics, okay? And we need to start with just simple filling our plate and understanding portion control and not even worrying about categories or colors or numbers or anything like that. So many of you guys know that I am a sports and exercise nutrition expert. I have a precision nutrition certification. So one of the things that I work on with my clients is the hand and portion guide. Using your hands to figure out portions and things like that, okay? So what we talk about a lot of times is just creating healthy, balanced meals a few times a day. Okay, so this is a good method for someone who's just getting started and they have no clue, right? And maybe they're going to struggle at first and they're not ready to quite take on something I wouldn't say the containers are more advanced, because I also think that's just your mind. Like if you feel like you're going to follow something where you have to have, a tally sheet in writing, you know what I mean? Like this is just a way for you to determine what you think is going to work best for you. Okay. So what I would do for someone in this case with the portion control checklist, figuring out hand-sized portions, we would talk about filling up your plate at least 3 times a day. This one gives you an example of 4 to 6 times a day as being your goal, with a protein, a vegetable, a healthy carb, and a fat, okay? So if you structure your day and you just want to think about having 4 healthy, balanced meals 3 to 4 times a day, then that's where we can start first. And then I can give you, like, let's say I'm going to show you how to build your plate. I'm going to show you what those 4 things should consist of, and then you can eventually put them together on your own, okay? So I am excited to share all this stuff with you, but I want to figure out what's going to work best for you. So I want to make sure that, we review all the different things and to find out what method is going to work for you best. So I hope you had some good insight here. If you have more questions about Beachbody On Demand, once you're inside of our challenge group, there is a Beachbody On Demand tutorial and walkthrough that I did to help you navigate through Beachbody On Demand. But this is to help you in order to figure out, which direction and path is going to work for you as far as nutrition. I always say 20% of the equation is exercise, 80% is nutrition, and 100% is your mindset. So trying to get all these things together, can sometimes feel overwhelming, okay? And also, I don't want you to feel like it's an all or nothing mindset, okay? You're not in here to fail or not to fail, right? Fail or succeed. It's not like that's not black and white, okay? There are going to be lots of successes and lots of struggles, okay? The idea is that you are learning to take the next steps to create a new lifestyle for yourself, and we need to learn together what's going to work best for you so that you can have a sustainable, long-term, positive relationship with food and exercise and health, okay? Be patient with yourself. It's not going to happen overnight, especially if you're not used to doing any sort of healthy eating, or you've dabbled, but you're not sure. Like, you're going to have to probably break some habits, and that's not going to happen overnight, and that's fine. And I think that you just need to be okay with that. Okay. We want to ditch the all or nothing mentality, that perfectionist mindset, and so that you can be successful and have that healthy lifestyle moving forward. It's not, one and done, 30 days and it's over. It's forever. And so this is the first step in kind of like that fact-finding mission to figure out what's going to work best for you, to help me understand how your brain works a little bit so that I can meet those needs with the nutrition aspect, okay? So really excited to work together. Message me after you've seen this video so that we can talk a little bit more, and you can let me know if one of those options looked good for you, or you still feel lost in some way. Then let's talk about it so that we can make sure to put you on the right path to at least, let's start just being consistent with a couple of basic things: drinking your water, drinking your Shakeology, and pushing plan your workouts. And then we can worry about the meal planning later if this is overwhelming to you. The last thing I want you to do is see all these things and the approach and freak out and then go quiet on me, okay? Because there's a lot of ways to go about this, and you don't have to be perfect, and there's no expectation to live up to. I need to get to know you a little bit better so that we can determine what's going to work best for you in the long term, right? And then what typically ends up happening is, like, say 3 months, 6 months goes by, you start to build these habits. You start to get really good at whatever method it is. And then you can say to me, now, Meggin, I'm ready for the next level. Or how can I do better? What are some things that I can do better? We can always do better. So know that you're always going to be a work in progress, that you're always going to have those stepping stones. There's always going to be a way to get better, to challenge yourself, and to take your fitness and health up a next level, okay? So don't be afraid to start. Don't feel like you have to go and jump from way down here to way up here. Okay, this is going to be a gradual process. Have patience with yourself and be open to learning new things, and just be open to making this change, okay? I know you're going to love it. You're going to love the group. You're going to love being with us, and you just need to embrace the newness of it all, okay? All right, I can't wait to hear from you. Send me a message. Let me know you saw this, and we'll talk to you soon.